Hey, we're here at BWise Trailers today. Dave here behind us putting this deck up right now, but he's going to show us around. He's going to show us from starting with steel that he's got off a truck, bending, cutting, welding, painting. It's going to come out looking like a trailer just like that. Dave, there's lots of trailers in here.
There are. We're building about 30 to 35 trailers a day this time of year, about 50 trailers a day when we get a little busier next month.
Wow, wow. I think you're going to show us around, right? Show us how they're made.
We'll do that.
Let's get started. So where are we now, Dave?
Tim, this is our receiving area for steel and a lot of our raw materials. We bring in as much as 14 million pounds of steel a year through this area here.
So I see a lot of channel, a lot of tube, a lot of sheet steel, just bare steel. It's not, there's been nothing done to it at this stage, right?
Yeah, we buy mill direct, we buy from some distribution centers. All the steel comes into us, we require it to be undercover, whether it's in a covered trailer, whether it's tarp. We want the cleanest, best product we can get for raw material when it comes to us.
Dave, what's he cutting here?
Well, Larry's one of our saw operators. We bring in some material pre-cut, some we cut on site. Larry will get a work order from the shop that tells him what to cut. Right now he's set up cutting tube frames, 8-inch tubes for dump trailers.
Okay, so this is some sort of a dump trailer. You probably know exactly which trailer this is going on? Or
we do. Everything's automated. From the time we put an order in the system, it goes to production control, and then they plot out the time frame for that trailer from cutting the raw material to making sure we have all the purchased components available for that trailer, so we can look real time in the system and see where that trailer's at in process.
This is one of the welding bays, bay 1, and this is the trailers they're welding at any given time. And this pile behind us here is all of the steel for a trailer. And it's a trailer that's supposed to be welded, it looks like next Tuesday. And it's a 28-foot, 23,000-pound trailer, and he's got all the steel cut for it. It's on a cart, and then they'll wheel that off to the welding bay. Did I get that right, Dave?
You got that right, Tim.
This is cool.
Tim, this particular trailer that we cut here is for a 23,000-pound deck over tilt trailer. So this is the main frame for that trailer, which is a heavy 10-inch I-beam. We use a 10-inch beam to keep the profile of the trailer lower, to keep it lower to the ground for a nice load angle, so we go to a heavier beam. This tube here is quarter wall tube, which is the side runners on the outside edge of the bed. So it's a heavy quarter wall tube. This tube here is 3/16 wall tube. That's stringers that go down underneath the deck, down underneath the bed, to add additional support to it. So some applications we call for 1/4 inch, some applications 3/16. The right material for the right job, so that the trailer is built to handle the load, but you're not towing an extra 500 pounds down the road that you don't need.
One thing I see is that I get kind of mixed up from other trailer specs. They talk about 16-inch on center cross pieces and 12-inch on center. It looks to me like that is not necessarily the right spec, because the actual thickness and strength of the steel is maybe even more important.
Yeah, Tim, it's you can have the cross members or the side tubes or any part of the trailer as close or far apart as you want. If it's not built out of the right material, it's not going to work. A 16-inch on center cross member is only as good as the material it's made out of.
So it might be fine as long as it's strong enough material. 16-inch might be fine.
Absolutely. Why carry extra weight around on the trailer you don't have? It's engineered to work at this spacing with this material. That's how we build it.
Makes sense. How about tube? You use tubes on a lot of the frames. We see that, and we see some that are thick, maybe even a 1/4 inch thick, and some that are 3/16. Tell me about using tube for the trailer frame.
Sure. Tube is one of the more popular materials we do use. We use them on almost all of our BWise dump trailers, equipment trailers, tilt trailers. It's a double wall tube, 3/16 or 1/4 inch, depending on the application. It allows us to run wiring inside the tube, hydraulic hoses inside the tube. We've been doing it for 25 years. It's a good quality material that...
Hold it. Tube is going to rust out from the inside and is not going to last at all. That's what I read on the internet.
Yeah, I think Mythbusters needs to look into that for us a little bit. If you build it right, out of the right material, and you treat the material properly, it's not a problem. We've been doing it for 25 years, and I've never had a tube failure because of rust.
Not even one?
Not one.
And you've built more than one trailer?
Just a few.
Hey, Dave, why do you have this galvanized pipe here? Heavy galvanized pipe at that.
Tim, we use some galvanized material, especially on our equipment trailers. There's a ramp pipe on the back that the ramp pivots on.
Okay.
If you paint that pipe, you wear the paint off. It rusts. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't hold up as well. So we use a heavy galvanized pipe. It's not going to rust. It's going to hold up well and look good for the long term. A little more money, a better product for the application.
Yeah, it's thick walled too. I mean, this is heavy duty pipe. What we got going here, Dave?
Tim, this is our Mitsubishi laser. We make a lot of our own small parts in-house. We'll put a piece of sheet steel on here, typically 10, 12, 14 gauge, all the way up to 1/2 inch, and we'll cut components, whether it's a trailer bumper, a trailer toolbox, a light housing. So it's a precise cut. So the hole is the exact size for the light grommet, the exact size for the toolbox latch, or whatever we need. And then these parts will go to our press brake, and they'll bend them into the shape they need to be bent before they go to small parts to be welded into a bumper or a toolbox or a light bracket.
And so we're seeing on the front here, we're seeing parts that have already been cut, right?
Correct. Those parts are cut. It has 2 tables, so while it's cutting this, we're prepping the other side of the machine with another piece of sheet material. When this is done, it'll rotate out, the other side will rotate in, and it'll start cutting the next job. This is one operation that does run 2 shifts. We have a day and night shift operator running the laser about 18 or 20 hours a day, depending on demand.
Do you take all this out? Yeah. Okay, take it all out.
This goes in the tongue of a trailer, and the jack will mount here to it. This right here is a little bracket. Then eventually those 2 holes will get a pin that goes through it to latch a door in place. It's just an example of the different components for different trailers that are on the same chute.
Dave, what do you do with the scrap?
Tim, we recycle everything. The scrap that comes off the laser goes over and gets piled on a skid. It'll go to our steel recycler. As the small parts come off the laser, they'll come over here, and Brad will form them into whatever part we need to make. In this case right now, he's making trailer bumpers. If you look at this is the inside of the bumper. Here's the tail light hole, the 3-bar light holes for the middle, and the opposite side tail light hole. So basically, Brad's taken a piece that was cut on the laser probably within the last 24 hours and forming it into a bumper. Tim, one interesting thing about our Ultimate Dump Trailer series, one of our premier dump trailers, is we manufacture almost all the components in-house. We engineered and designed the trailer. But we don't just cut them on the laser and weld them together. A lot of them get machined as well for a precision fit. Like these rear posts on an Ultimate Dump Trailer where the gate latches in. This is cut on the laser, it's welded on the tube, and then this portion right here is machined for a precise dimension so that when the gate comes up the latch in there with the pin, it fits perfectly. This is all our main trailer weld area. At any given time we're running between 12 and 14 weld bays in. Usually 2 guys and 2 welders in the bay.
So does each bay finish the trailer, all the welds, or does it go through stations?
A little bit of both. There are some bays that are set up where a frame is built in one bay and the bed of the trailer is built in another, and then it's finished. But each individual bay builds a certain type of trailer.
I think I see an Ultimate Dump over here. Let's go check it out. Yeah.
Tim, our Ultimate Dump trailers are one trailer that we build the frame in one bay and the bed in another, then they marry them up. So they've done that here, now they're setting the bed on a cart to get ready to go to paint. Our trailer weld time varies by trailer. Small utility trailers, we might weld 1 an hour by 1 guy.
Wow.
Our Ultimate bays are 2-man teams, and they'll do 2.5 to 3.5 Ultimates a day per team, depending on the options and what we got coming through. The gooseneck takes a little longer than a bumper pull.
Is it all hand weld, or do you have any automated welding?
Right now we do all of our welding by hand. We don't have any robotic welding cells at the present. We've done that in the past. We've gone back and forth a little bit on that. Tim, one unique thing about our Ultimate Dump Trailer, the base frame for the Ultimate Dump Trailer and our heavy duty DLP dump trailer line, which is the BWise, more of a standard BWise trailer, it's the same frame. If it's a 12 foot, a 14 foot, or 16 foot, it looks the same from the ground up until you put the bed on it, and then some of the other features.
So that's an 8-inch tube. How thick is that? That's a quarter tube?
Well, for our Ultimate Dump Trailers, it's 8-inch by 3/16 for the main frame tube. One of the unique things you'll see that we do, we run all of our wire and hydraulic lines through the tube. So that's what these couple cutouts are for on the side, or access panels. So So when the trailer's finished, you won't see the bulk of the electrical wiring or the bulk of the hydraulic. It's hidden and protected inside the tube frame of the trailer. Each one of our departments is responsible for giving a finished product from that department to the next. So these guys don't just weld it, they're cleaning up behind themselves. They're grinding off certain areas of the trailer, cleaning up welds and prepping the trailer. So when it goes to paint, the prep team there will do their part of it. But the idea is they get the best product to paint that they can supply to paint. Paint gets the best product they can make and supply to assembly. So everybody's responsible to their customer on down the line. They have a quality sheet that they check on the trailer when they manufacture their portion of the trailer. He's responsible to make sure the trailer's built to spec, all the welds are there and everything's done right before it goes to the paint department.
You're saying this paint line is continually moving?
It is, Tim. It's about 1,100 feet long, goes from one side of the building to the next. Runs about 5 feet per minute, continuously moving. We bring the trailers out of weld, we finish the prep for paint, and we hang it on the line. Then the automated system, for the most part, does the rest. A little over 3 hours, it'll travel around the system. It'll get washed, treated, primed, baked, get a top coat, and baked on again. And we'll kind of show you that process as we go around.
Let's check out the actual, I mean, is it hands off in there? We'll just have to see how this works. We're getting all that oil off and all the grime and stuff from the welds. What are you using to wash?
Well, it's a 4-stage process, Tim. There's over 500 high-pressure nozzles in this wash stage. First it goes through a degrease and a wash. Then it goes through a high-pressure rinse. And then a second separate high-pressure rinse. So then it goes through a zirconium wash, which preps the metal to accept the paint after that. So it's completely clean on the other end. After that, it goes through an oven at about 360 degrees, I believe, to dry it all off so it's ready to take paint. Tim, this is our prime booth where we're applying the primer to the trailers. It's all powder coat, and the trailers have now gone through the wash system and the dry off oven, and now they're going into the primer booth. Everything's automated. There's 4 sensors that you see will pick up whatever the object is coming into the booth, will basically read its size and shape, and then the guns will come out in and out automatically, up and down automatically to apply the primer powder to the surface of the trailer or the part or the gate or the fender, whatever it happens to be. Then there is one operator in this booth that keeps an eye on things, make sure the system's running correctly, make sure that we didn't miss something, that there isn't a gun that malfunctioned or a paint supply issue or anything like that.
That's not rust we're seeing on here, right?
No, that's the zirconium bath that it goes through right before the dry off to prep the metal for paint.
The treatment, that zirconium, essentially attracts that powder, right? I mean, it kind of tries to stick to it.
This is a positive and negative system. One part's grounded, one part's not, so that it helps attract the paint. But the zirconium preps the metal for the same reason, for good adhesion once the powder's on there.
Okay, so we just put the primer coat on. What are we doing here?
Now we're baking it. It goes through this oven that runs at about 360, 380 degrees to gel that primer coat onto the frame or onto the bed or onto the components. And you'll see when we go around the other side, as long as it's cool enough to touch, it's solid and it's firm on there. And then we go to the top coat process.
Still hot. It's dry. So it looks like we're running a black coat now. Is that just a solid black?
Yeah, this is a small little single axle dump trailer coming through in our standard gloss black. One of the things that sets us apart in the industry is we'll do 13 different colors right now. One of our most popular colors is lime green.
Does it hurt if they get too much on there, or do they spray a certain amount, or?
You can get too much. I mean, you get a heavier millage coverage on it, which isn't always a bad thing, but it can get splotchy, so you got to know what you're doing. There's a certain layer and a certain mill thickness coverage that we want to have for a good quality coverage without being too thick.
Hold it, I thought we were painting black.
Well, we were painting black in the booth, and then it goes into the final cure oven. This oven runs at about 380 degrees and cures the paint. And right in front of the black happened to be lime green.
So you're able to switch colors that quickly?
We do. It does take about 40 or 50 feet in the line to give the guys time to manually change out the color, but it's not bad. And we switch colors sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes 6 or 7 times a day.
Wow. I like this color. I think this is the one I want.
This happens to be a 16-foot ultimate dump, just like the one you're taking home today.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of little things we do. Anything that's a weld stud that's on there, we cap it off before paint, so there's no paint in the threads to deal with afterward. Or if it's a tapped hole, we plug that hole before paint, so there's no paint in the threads to deal with. Tim, like we said, this is one of our 16-foot ultimate dump beds. 16-inch on center cross members, standard spare tire mount that you can see underneath it there. And the unique thing about this bed is it's one piece. 82 inches wide, 16 feet long, no seams in that bed. It's great for loading and unloading equipment, for dumping material. No seams to get hung up on, no seams to fail, one piece.
And those are tubes on the outside frame?
The outside frame is tube rail, or a tube frame on the outside of our ultimate dump. The other thing we do is the outside sheet metal comes down, and you can kind of see it forms around the bottom edge of the tube, so it creates a lip there. It just doesn't stop flush on the side.
So the guy in the blue over on your right is the paint manager. It's finished with the paint process now, but he's coming around to do an inspection and to see if he wants to send it back through. If you're watching the earlier part of our video, the paint man was inspecting the frames before they went in to make sure there wasn't any rust or anything on the frame that didn't belong. It looks like that's his 100% job, is to make sure that paint's perfect.
Yeah, Tim, this is our final assembly department. We have 6 assembly bays right now. We're about ready to add 2 more to beef it up to 8. And most of these are 2-man crews that do the final assembly on the trailer. They'll take the chassis and the bed, put it together, wire it, put all the components on, the pumps, motors, hoists, everything. And when it leaves here, it goes to inspection, just about ready to go out the door.
You know, Dave, when I saw this trailer in Louisville, I didn't notice some detail. I mean, we were going around it so fast. I looked down here and there's a little rubber bumper. When the deck comes down, it sets on that rubber bumper. That's going to keep it from squeaking and rubbing the paint off.
Keeps the vibrations down. It's just one of those little fit and finish things that we do with the trailer.
I saw another one up here.
Yeah,
what's this one for?
That's the plunger for the fold down side. When you fold the side down, that plunger will go in there and keep it in place for you.
Oh, okay. There's the mate to it right up there.
Yes.
So it actually holds it down then, right?
It does.
There. Oh, look here. You call this Hootie, right?
We got to have Hootie in there. Hootie on the fender, Hootie on the wheel covers. There's just a lot of little things we try and do, Tim. It's like the zinc plated hardware you see all over the side of the trailer. Instead of painting or using a raw material, we make those pins in-house and we send them out and have nice zinc plated. Nice finish, looks good, and it'll last.
Yeah, so this shouldn't rust very easily at all.
All those handles, we make them all in-house.
I saw those.
We cut that on the laser, we bend it, we send it out to be zinc plated, we bring it back and finish putting it together.
This is our harness room. We make all of our own wiring harnesses for every trailer. The one nice thing about that is if you buy an 18-foot equipment hauler, it is a harness made for an 18-foot equipment hauler. You don't have a generic 20-foot harness that fits 7 different trailers and has a bunch of extra wire hanging everywhere, or something that we're stretching to make fit. They're made unique for each and every model that we do.
Let's check some of them out over here. They're sealed wires, aren't they? It's not just a plastic harness you put on the outside.
Correct. It's a sealed harness with an outer jacket on it. And then we add the ring connectors or add the splices or add the heat shrink where we need to keep it as sealed as possible. And all the ring connectors and splices are put on pneumatically with the machine. We're feeding the machine, but it's not done with a hand crimp. It's very consistent.
I like the extra detail here. It seems like the wiring on a trailer is one of the first things that goes bad oftentimes.
Yeah, it is. It's exposed to the weather. It's down close to the ground. So if you do it right the first time, it'll last a lot longer.
Except that it's not exposed on your trailers.
It's not. Any of our trailers that are made with the tube frame, the wiring, and the hydraulic lines will run inside the tube frame. Tim, this is our machining department. One thing that makes us unique among other manufacturers is we can build a lot of our own parts and build a lot of precision parts. Right now we're building hoists for our DLPs and ultimate dump trailers like yours. So these are the arms that go on the hoist. We'll laser cut a lot of those parts, then it'll come to machining to precisely cut this hole or any other particular hole on the part that needs to be precise.
So you make your own hydraulic cylinders?
Tim, we make some of them in-house. This, for example, is a hydraulic cylinder for a BWise tilt trailer that we're machining and making.
So this one's about ready to go.
It is. This is our final inspection department, Tim. The guys in this department will put all the decals on, the reflective safety decals, the logo decals and everything. And then they'll inspect the trailer. They'll give it one more fit and function test. Every trailer comes through with an inspection sheet and a build sheet. And they'll take that sheet and they have a checklist. They'll check everything on the trailer to make sure it's right. They'll check welds, they'll check paint, they'll check everything, sign off on it, function test, and have to do it.
I saw a sticker that said NATM. What is that?
Tim, NATM is the National Association of Trailer Manufacturers. Okay. One of the requirements to belong is we have to be compliant with their technical standards. They're kind of the policing body of the trailer industry. They make sure we're building to government spec and doing everything by the rules.
Do they actually come audit?
Yes, we get on-site audits at least every other year. They come and physically inspect our facility, inspect our documentation, and of course inspect the trailers. We manufacture here in Pennsylvania. 100% of our trailers are built here in Chambersburg. We have a dealer network and distribute throughout the Northeast heavily in the Mid-Atlantic, but we spread out across the country a little bit.
Yeah, I saw there were some dealers in Indiana. But what about some of my viewers that are not in the Northeast? How are they going to be able to get a trailer?
Give us a call. We'll fix you up with a dealer that has the right product you're looking for and the ability to get it to you. A lot of the dealers are happy to deliver trailers. So yeah, BWiseMFG.com. That can link you to either one of our sites, BWise Trailers or Bri-Mar Trailers. On those sites, there's a Contact Us link. You can click that, fill it out. You can give us a call, or you can find a dealer directly if that's what you prefer to do.
I see there's two different brands. So you have a BWise trailer and you have the Bri-Mar trailers. Can you tell me kind of generally what's the difference between the two?
Bri-Mar, we've been manufacturing, we're going into our 25th year manufacturing the Bri-Mar brand. It's a proven trailer, it's a well-built trailer, built in the same facility with the same American-made products, the same paint system, the same axles, the same quality components. Just not as many of them. Sometimes the bells and whistles aren't there. We don't do the hydraulic jacks on the Bri-Mar trailer as one example, or two-tone paint. And then the BWise is more of our bells and whistles trailer, our upper end. They're both quality trailers, but the BWise will come with two-tone paint and hydraulic jacks and a lot more features that are standard equipment on a BWise.
Yeah, so the basics of the trailer are the same. The construction, the utility of the trailer is the same. It just doesn't have these extra features that you're installing standard on the BWise.
Sure, that's pretty much the difference.
Dave, thanks for showing us around today. A huge facility, a lot of manufacturing work going on here. I was amazed.
Well, thanks, Tim. It was a pleasure having you, and we look forward to seeing what you and Christy put together on YouTube for us.
Okay, check out our website, tractortimewithttim.com, and check out the BWise website at BWiseMFG.com for your BWise or Bri-Mar trailer. And we'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
Just spin it around, and that's
Just like I did to drop it in there.
there you go. And then underneath, no, back this direction. There. And then it's kind of underneath that lip there for you.
Okay.
So it's in the hole.